What's up, history hunters? Today we are diving into a date you might know by a rhyme. Remember, the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. It's known as Bonfire Night, Fireworks Night, or the classic ... Guy Fawkes Day. But what is the crazy, treasonous, and downright explosive true story behind the bonfires and the bangs? Let's get straight into the facts. This isn't just about fireworks. It's about a plot to commit mass murder. Back in 1605, a group of English Catholics, led by a man named Robert Catesby, were furious with the new Protestant king, James I, for refusing to grant them religious tolerance. Their plan? To blow up the Houses of Parliament during the state opening on November 5th. Why that day? Because the king, queen, his eldest son, and all the most powerful people in government would be gathered in one place. One giant blast, one giant power vacuum. This is where our namesake comes in. Most people think Guy Fawkes masterminded the whole thing. Wrong. He was a key player, but the brains of the operation was Robert Catesby. Guy Fawkes was a devout Catholic soldier who had fought abroad in the Spanish army. He was an explosives expert, which made him perfect for the dirtiest job, lighting the fuse. He was the one who was caught in the act, making him the infamous face of the failure. That's why we remember him. How much boom were they planning? Fawkes and his co-conspirators managed to rent an undercroft, basically. A cellar right beneath the House of Lords. Over several months, they smuggled in a massive stash of gunpowder. Historical sources vary, but they had at least 36 barrels of gunpowder hidden under a huge pile of firewood. That's enough explosives to completely obliterate the building and everyone in it. The plot was literally hours from success, but it was undone by a single, mysterious, anonymous letter. One of the plotters sent a note to a Catholic nobleman, Lord Monteagle, warning him not to attend Parliament on November 5th because he would receive a terrible blow. Monteagle tipped off the king's men. A search was ordered, and in the early hours of the 5th, they found Fawkes in the cellar, fuse in hand. Busted. Parliament survived. The king was safe, and a day of public thanksgiving was immediately declared. That's why, over 400 years later, we still celebrate the failure of the plot with fire and noise. Bonfires. People traditionally burn an effigy, a dummy called the Guy, on the bonfire, symbolizing Fawkes. Fireworks. The fireworks represent the gunpowder explosion that didn't happen. They are a sign of celebration and relief. The search. To this day, the yeomen of the guard still perform a ceremonial search of the Houses of Parliament's cellars before the state opening, just in case a modern-day Fawkes is lurking. So the next time you're wrapped up warm, holding a sparkler, or watching a spectacular fireworks display, remember that you are celebrating one of the most famous failures in history, a treasonous plot that almost changed the course of the entire UK. But wait, there's a similar tradition. Cross-dressing associated with Guy Fawkes Day in South Africa is a distinct local evolution of the original British holiday, primarily seen in some townships and local communities. The definitive reason for the cross-dressing element is not entirely clear, but it is generally linked to the local custom known as Penny Day, or the South African version of Penny for the Guy. The original Guy Fawkes tradition involves children making an effigy, the Guy, and taking it around to beg for a penny for the Guy to buy fireworks. In South Africa, especially in townships like Soweto, this tradition evolved into children and teenagers dress up in elaborate costumes, often using their parents' or older relatives' best clothes, which frequently includes cross-dressing, young men wearing women's clothes, wigs, and makeup. They run through the neighborhoods singing special songs, performing dances, and doing comical skits. Their performance is in exchange for small change, or a penny. The specific reason why cross-dressing became a central part of this performance tradition is unclear, but cultural commentators and observers suggest a few possibilities. Element of playful rebellion. The original Guy Fawkes plot itself was an act of treason and rebellion against authority. Wearing mismatched, adult, or gender-crossing clothing adds an element of absurdity, rebellion, and mischief fitting for a holiday centered on a failed plot and street anarchy. Carnivalesque spirit. Many cultural festivals around the world feature a carnivalesque element where social norms are temporarily inverted. Cross-dressing can be a way to playfully subvert everyday rules and roles, allowing for high-spirited street performance. Creative costuming, since the costumes are made from raiding parents' wardrobes for the best clothes, is a highly creative and theatrical tradition where the most outlandish or eye-catching outfits get the most attention and coins. Association with other SA folklore, less direct. South African folklore contains figures like Anchi Summers, a famous cross-dressing boogeyman ghost figure, which shows a cultural context where gender ambiguity has existed in storytelling and performance. In essence, while the original British celebration focused on fireworks and burning the effigy, the South African version in certain communities shifted to a highly theatrical street festival centered on costuming performance and collecting money, with cross-dressing becoming a prominent and comical part of that street performance. What's your favorite Bonfire Night treat? Is it a toffee apple, a jacket potato, or maybe a sticky piece of parkin? Let me know below. Smash that like button if you learned something new. Subscribe for more deep dives into crazy history facts, and ring that bell so you don't miss our next video.
We'll be making more similar videos. Please subscribe.